Lisa. We're going to do a double page spread today with a lot of photos. And you can see that the photos are all of one subject, my husband. This is not the best picture of him. He had a bee sting, but it's part of this whole theme. This morning when I was listening to the load prompt, I had just heard the basic prompt, hadn't listened to the rest of the video, and I turned to Lane and I turned to my husband and I said, if you were to give your life a book title, what would it be? And he came up with The New Normal. Now, I was eating breakfast, and it's a wonder that strawberry smoothie wasn't splattered all over the dining room table, because anybody who knows him knows that he's as far from what we think of as normal as he can, just about as he can get. But his assertion is that he is the one who is logical and sane and perfectly normal, and it's the rest of us who are not. So I went through my photos and I found a lot of odds and end photos, probably ones that wouldn't get scrapped otherwise, like this one of us dining here. I've already told the story about that particular day, so I just sort of had that photo left over. And this one is, you know, really, really small, but there's a reason. There's a reason for each of these that I think he's not what we consider today's normal. And some of them are really things that all of us, many of us do, read books from the library, but a lot of people don't do that anymore. And then some are a little way far out there compared to what's normal. If you're interested in my take on some of these photos, there'll be more about that over on my blog. But what I want to do in the video is show you how I'm going to take all these photos and put them on a 2-page spread. They're going to be a lot of odd sizes. The first thing I'm going to do is trim down. I'm going to do a lot of cropping here, and then we'll see what we have and how I want to arrange them. I've picked out a couple of sheets of cardstock for a base. I'm thinking about an all cardstock layout for this 2-page spread. I love working with cardstock and doing all kinds of different things to it. I think I'm going to keep the cardstock kind of simple for today's layout. And I have gone through embellishments and looked at some just odds and ends stickers and things that I think go with the theme for the page. So first thing I'm going to do is some cropping. I picked gray cardstock because not only does it go with the photos, it's my husband's favorite color. And I'm just laying the photos on here in the original order that I had them on my work table. And then we'll kind of see where they go from there. That one photo is going to have to move over because I don't like to cut a photo across the middle, the gutter of the page. That's just my personal preference. So I just moved some things around so it could fit entirely over on the right-hand page. I need some space there at the bottom for my title. And when I cropped these, I did not consider placement at all. I just cropped each photo according to what was in the photo. And I am left with this little space there that's I would have to fill in. So I moved some things around so that they formed a little straighter border. And I can always, there's one I hadn't cropped down. So I think that's a pretty good arrangement. Didn't spend a lot of time on it, just worked from the middle out. I do have 3 photos there I'm going to pop up with some additional cardstock as a mat. Chose several different thicker packs, and this one is one I got it in a grab bag. It's not a font I would have normally picked, but I think it works well here because the color looks good. I got a lot of letters, and I can use that larger size. I had planned to do some word in that blue to go with some of the blue in there, but it's just a little bright for the word "the," so I think we'll skip that. I am going to try to do a few enamel dots along the bottom. I'd like to do a little row under the word "new." So I went through every pack of enamel dots that I have. You know, I got into the enamel dots craze a year or so ago and bought some packs here and there, and I think I did a grab bag of them one time, and then I don't use them that much. So, and I'm back to this title. I really think I'm just going to do some more with this green lettering, and then the word "new" can really stand out. And the green letters have these great brackets I can put around "new." Because some of these photos, it's not really about whether he's more conventional or unconventional. It's what's in vogue, what's new. And reading books from the library, for example, is not the new normal. The new normal is, of course, using a Kindle or whatever, but we don't have that. We're cheap. So, all right, to make a pocket, I just took an envelope and cut the top off and glued it to the back of one of my photos, so I'll have a place to tuck my journaling in. And sometimes I make my own pockets, and other times if an envelope works, it works, and I don't have to, it makes it really fast. To glue these down, I'm just again starting in the middle and lining up corners. That one's going to go on with pop dots. These are Stampin' Up's dimensionals. They're my favorites. Except that I track those little white things all over the house. Some of them don't end up in the trash, and they end up stuck to the bottom of my socks. And I'll keep doing that till I get all the pictures glued down. I went through and pulled out several stickers that I liked. There's one there that's, I think, really appropriate, 100% you. And I really thought I would use these bottle caps, but they're more travel oriented, and so I didn't, it's actually just a pattern paper page that I've punched some of them out in the past. Oh my gosh. Pattern paper page punched out in the past. I would not want to say that 3 times fast. Okay, now we've got several stickers. I'm trying to work them in. What ends up happening here is I take them all out except that one. The stickers just, to me, were distracting. There was one that says, I zig and you zag or something, and there's nothing about me on this page, so I don't need to have that there. For my enamel dots, I probably fussed with this more than anything. My plan was to have a little row of them, and I was going to use lots of different colors. But when I started mixing brands, of course, they were different sizes. But I didn't have enough of one size in one brand, so I did end up mixing sizes, but I used all of those October Afternoon pop drops to do my row of enamel dots, what I ended up using. And I just alternated colors and sizes, and you'll see a close-up of this later on. There, you can see it a little bit better there. We'll see it at the end. Now I typed up my journaling, just folded it over, and I'm putting an October Afternoon tab on it, but I've got it so small it wants to slide all the way back down into my pocket. So I'm going to add a brad there that will hopefully keep it from going all the way down in, and put the date on the back. I forgot to date this. The photos are all from 2013-2014 time frame. And this still wants to slide in, and part of the problem is that I don't have enough glue on my envelope, so I added just a little bit more glue, and that really helped things out. I have our page all finished here. It is really concentrated on photos, the title, and then the subtitle down here. From my point of view, I'm perfectly logical and sane. It's all the rest of you who are messed up. That's my husband's version of the new normal. And what I did was just put in this detail section a little bit about each of these photos. And some of these photos are not really that, far out there. But they're a good collection of just different little things about him, and it was a great way to use photos that I might not normally use, because I've already scrapped about some of these things, and they were just photos that didn't quite make it into the story, but there's still a little something that I want to say about them. So it was a great way to use a lot of those photos. This is one I hadn't actually scrapped about the story yet, but if I need an extra photo, I can always print it out. So anyway, it's a fun page. A lot of work with the title, just a little row of enamel dots down there to add a little bit of color, and we really let the photos tell the story this time. So thanks for joining me. I hope this helps a little bit with doing photo collages. Pull this page together really quickly for a double page spread, and I'll do a little bit of close-up here. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll check out my blog for more information, and if you like doing double page layouts, I have a class called 2-Page Terrific that we do a lot of stuff with 2-pagers, all kinds of different arrangements, and there are sketches and all included with the class. So thanks again.